Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another day of BA Agile Scrum. We will be transitioning today into business analysis, but before we transition into that, we will be completing few part of Agile Scrum under estimation and planning. And then after that, we'll continue with the business analysis section. But before we begin, let's quickly remind each other with a quick guidelines. That's gonna be a code of honor for us. And for that, I'm going to quickly share my screen with you all. And but before I share my screen, please unmute yourself and say yes if you can hear me well, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your confirmation. So let's get started. And I'm here sharing the quick guideline, and that's under the name of Code of Honor. So yeah, now I believe you can see my screen as well. Can you please confirm if my screen is visible, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for your confirmation. So the very first one, when we call it as a code of honor, the very first one, uh, before I reveal, you know that Agile is full of ceremonies, and ceremonies means what, everyone?
Events.
Meetings.
Events,
Meetings.
meetings. Yeah, yeah. Ceremonies, events, meetings. And Agile is full of ceremonies, and every single ceremonies and meetings demands you to show up live. It means you be on time, remain punctual, remain highly committed. In case you are not practitioner of it, it is considered and it is advised that you consider this training itself as a project and start reflecting these habits over there, so that it will be quite easy for you once you get placed. And so once you start uh, practicing this over here, it is quite easy for you to reflect back, because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything. And many of you chose to be the student, and that makes you chose to learn, that makes you student, and we want you to be the full stack student. It means that who does all the assignments, be said or unsaid, do self research and repeat what they learn. And while you complete what you start, uh, it's quite easy to hit the success, and then you can take the full responsibility of that. But when you don't even not able to finish anything what you have taken up as a starting point, and you are just leaving everything in between, of course you won't be able to meet the target, complete them and hit the success, but in fact you will hit failure. So for that very reason, if you understand what is the reason behind it, you can easily take the full responsibility of both the elements, be it success or failure. Success when you finish what you start, and failure when you leave in between. Okay. So why need to take the full responsibility of failure as well? When you acknowledge it, you will be able to embrace it, and when you will be able to embrace it, you will be able to correct it, correct it and accept it. And then you will realize that failure was not a failure, that became trail to the success. But to do so, you really need to develop a concrete mindset, starting from lean Kaizen, that is a continuous improvement. And for that, you need to have the learning mindset. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more positively. More positive minded you will become, you will find yourself growing in a complaint free zone when it comes to mindset, in a way that you can handle any project in a very stringent timeline when it comes to Agilist, or even handle the project with the lack of resources. And if you can do that seamlessly and successfully, you will find yourself getting loaded in more in gratitude, that leads to the highest level of productivity. While you are doing so, remember to start your day with the increased level of the receptivity. And for that very reason, I have spoken about, 30 days challenge. In case you want more detail on that, you must refer to the day one's recording. And second, if you are getting into technical learning, always remember to follow the golden quadrant of learning, which comes with the 4 step. The very first one is declaration with the anchor, then take a deep dive into deep learning, then draw whatever you have learned after after 24 hours using pen and paper, flaunt it back in a video summary, which should be less than 3 minutes and minimum of 90 second, where 90 second in a way that even 5 years old can understand. So we will do first and second over here, third and fourth is on you. So let's do it. And how we are going to do it? First, we'll put the anchor and then declare. So how we will do that? So anchor will be 1, 2, 3 and clap. This is what you heard on your speaker. You are going to model me when I shout it out. And then you must repeat what is selected on your screen, that I am going to read it out after me. So can you all see the selected statement on the screen, everyone? Just say yes if you
Yes.
can see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's model me. So 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
One more time with me. 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. Because I'm a quick learner,
Because I'm a quick learner,
today's learning is going to be
today's learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy to me.
Yes, it is going to be because you said so. And in this course, what happens? You feel sometime bit awkward. Okay, many of you contribute. Many of you are on front foot, play well and do well, but many of you could not because you feel bit awkward even to start and start this such declaration. And for that, you must remember, even if you are coming of the vast years of experience, always remember to be the giver. So first, keeping ego away on the path of learning, that will keep you spiritually grounded on the path of growth. When I say spiritually grounded, means your happiness level enhances. When I say happiness level, because happiness is today's new productivity and that's the demand of the corporate. And while you do so, remember, you are not here just for the learning but also to grow monetarily. And it is said that what you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And in case you are already earning, start thinking that how you can donate back 5% or 10% of your earning to the charity or causes wherever you believe in case you are not earning today, can you have this intention that I'll give away 5% of 10% of my earning in the causes wherever I believe in once I get placed at list? So what kind of causes you can choose? You can choose to feed hungry children, donate into orphanage, or donating into old age home, or donating into temple, church, mosque, gurudwara, wherever you believe in. Why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure that you are not here for the survival but for the growth. And while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And if it does not happen in your favor, please continue to do so, because it is said that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And how we are going to remain connected on when it comes to days? Every single Sunday we meet for 10 for technical session at 10 p.m. Monday again we will meet for another technical session like today at 10 p.m. Tuesday, you must attend the RRP session, that is reference ready resume preparation. This is the gateway for your placement, where it enhances your visibility, credibility, and thereby your marketability. So in a week, twice you are going to meet for RRP session, Tuesday and Thursday. Yes, even though reason is the same and it is repetition, still you need to show up on both the session, because technical sessions are just a formality, but your placement is the reality, and for that very reason you are here. Okay. And then on Wednesday you can choose to do the assignment from the learning of Sunday, and on Friday you can do the assignment from the learning of Monday, be it said or unsaid. Both the assignment you need to know, need to do. And Saturday you can choose to relax, have a breather day, do your own research work, or repeat what you have learned, or in case you have still not completed the assignment, this is the another day where you can reattempt or prepare any question that you want to answer on the next technical session. This is how we are going to remain connected. Is it clear, everyone? Everyone is clear with this plan? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome. So now we are going to touch the point where we had left off. But before even we begin that, I want to ask anyone here for the first time attending this live with me, where you had not attempted earlier. Anyone here? This is your first live session with me where you are listening to me directly for the first time, not in the recording. One, two, no? Okay, I'll take this as a silence as a no. You have heard me and interacted with me earlier as well. So let's continue further. And before I continue further, how I want you guys to connect with me in this entire session, I'll want you all to remain on mute, remain on unmute, so that when I ask certain question, you can answer, interact. But if you think that you cannot contribute into the class by going on unmute, because it may create an echo, or there is some background noise, and you think that or you are contributing somewhere at home or from wherever you are connecting, then you can remain unmute. Otherwise, I will recommend or encourage you to go unmute, okay, so that you can contribute in this session. So you remember this screen from yesterday? We created one new product and we created its elevator pitch. You remember that? Yesterday we did it? Yes?
Yes.
No? Yeah. So what was the product name? Who remember that?
Moodle.
Moodle, that's
Moodle.
right. Yes, yes, absolutely right. So we started with Moodle and we created that how we can create a statement of work, or first the vision as an elevator pitch, how we can create. Then comes to the next layer, and that is towards the roadmap. I want someone to read this roadmap portion for me.
With the vision published and accepted by all, the roadmap will serve as the next building block to ensure alignment to the original vision. This roadmap is meant to be used as a tool to organize high level pieces of the product. These can be business features or architectural components that must be understood in terms of their value and dependencies.
Thank you so much for reading this out. Yes, so what exactly is going to happen when you are describing the roadmap? It means that you were aware earlier that what exactly vision you are going to complete. As say, for example, coming back to the banking feature, you are going to help a bank to become an enterprise to use the application for their customer. And then there in the roadmap, you will be creating the various epics, epics enabler or features. You will be mentioning that in the first how much milestones you need to create, and in how many breaks you will be delivering the software. That much clarity will be there. You will be also tracing the dependency of the various modules. Say for example, you came up with the high level of five visions, okay, or say when we say vision, you have one single statement, but what you can see that five phases, under five phases, this vision will be completed. And in the every phase there will be certain modules that you may come up. And say for example, you decide phase number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the five roadmaps. Okay, so the first roadmap, say for example, we are starting year 2025. So first roadmap will be completed in the first quarter, and then after 2 months, and 2 months, and 2 months, and 2 months. This is how means in the 11th month we should be completed. 1 month is the buffer time. Say last 1 month will be the buffer time. That's how you decided. So you will have the all the clarity in the first quarter what exactly we should be released. Say for example, you may say we will be completely focusing on adding new customer, cash deposit, cash withdrawal, checking the cash balance. It's all about KYC, knowing your customer. It's all about completing the transaction. It will also include the fund transfer and all. So all the basic banking feature for new customer till adding the new beneficiary and completing the various kind of the banking transfer or bank transaction. Okay, even for the buying purpose and withdraw buying purpose, or say yeah, uh, again, opening the linked account or something like that. If I want to create online linked another fixed deposit account or something like that, all these feature we decided around 5 6 features. So we will be writing them separately. Then again, the second roadmap could be completely dedicated in phase 2. We will be playing everything related to cards. So card issuance and card reissuance and card enablement, card activation, card swipe, and online card transaction. Everything will include into that, including the credit card, including the co-brand card, including the debit card, including the forex, whatever the card you may think of. Okay, then comes after a card, we will do the loan part. And here in the phase number 3, you decide the loan part could be business loan, or consumer loan, or appliances loan, or vehicle loan, whatever the loan you can think of. So that will be the phase number 3. Then phase 4, you can think of what else you can think of in the banking system. Say for example, you think okay, uh, added now you can think of that related to card, and this you want to reward your customer. So rewarding system will be included into this banking system. Apart from the rewarding system, here in the phase number 5, you come up with the another plan that complimentary offers especially dedicated to insurance of my existing customer. Different type of insurance you are linking with this banking system. This is how you want to enhance. Now your roadmap is clear and your date is clear, but in every roadmap you will be defining, which is called as this. Okay, what you will be defining?
Release.
Release. Yes, you will be create multiple release in every phase into every roadmap. I want someone to read this bullet point for me.
Release. Instead of writing detailed requirements for the entire roadmap, this next level of planning only focuses on the upcoming release, which corresponds to your quarter or whatever dimension used in your roadmap. The goal of the release is to produce a backlog of work that is represented by a list of user stories that are estimated, prioritized, and ordered.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. Now, in this release, you may come up with the multiple dates. Okay, when it comes to multiple dates, it means that you can decide in this release for phase 1, you will have the 4 release. Okay, 4 release for 4 months, or say for example, 4 release will be how you can do that. So, or you may come up with the 3 release. 3 release means every single month. In the first quarter you are releasing, and in the first month, or say for example is 2025 JFM, January, February, March, you will have the 3 release date. That is towards the end of the month you will be releasing, and there you are dividing all the work into the various user stories further. And first was dedicated under that customer enablement. So here in the uh, first release, that will be on 31st January, you will have the first release of the first sprint. So it in when I say 3 release, it means it could be the 4 weeks of the work, and it could be it could be of say for example, now it can have multiple sprints. So in one release, in fact, in 1 month you can come up with the two release itself. So these are the possibility, but you need to agree upon well in advance as a product owner with the customer how they want. Okay, but in case you decide that okay, in the first phase of the first quarter we will have only three release, and every release and in this three release, every release will have say for example, one sprint will be of 4 weeks long. How many long? How long?
4 weeks.
4 weeks long. So in 4 weeks, in the first phase, first release for 4 weeks of sprint, what all you are going to release, that you are going to define. Okay, I'll be releasing completely customer enablement in the first month with the first sprint. And the second, we will be focusing about complete banking transaction, fund transfer stuff. And but no, sorry, January customer enablement, February we will be doing the complete transaction could be cash deposit, or say cash withdrawal, or say what else, opening new account and all, linked account and all, that we will be enabling in the month of Feb. And in the month of March we will be adding new features that could be with the online transaction and online shopping and also that we will be including. So this is how our first release will be with the three sprint and will be completing in the first quarter. So and there you have defined every single thing in which release what will go first. So here you are talking more in detail in the sprint planning meeting what you are keeping in the first priority, how you will be unveiling the order of the modules what I have stated so far. The model names are just now I have taken up, right? As a module name as a cash withdrawal, cash deposit, or fund transfer using NEFT or IMPS or RTGS. There are the various methods. So guys, are you understanding what I'm speaking right now when it comes to release? Yeah, making sense to you all?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you for confirmation. So here you decide the release. Now comes the most important part. And here I have covered this already when I was talking about the sprint. It is about the iteration. Can someone read this point under iteration?
An iterative approach simply means that the work is time boxed into a set length of time.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. Yeah, so when we say iteration means it's for the certain, there will be a start time, there will be a end time, and you are delivering multiple modules in that iteration. Okay, so what exactly you do? Say, for example, you decide the first sprint will be of customer enablement, second is of related to account opening or account enhancement, and third one is the fund transfer. You will see that these will have multiple user stories. Okay, and every single user story will be stated well into the sprint planning meeting, and there everyone will be giving their estimate, and the execution will start. And once the coding is done, when it is testable and it is functional and it is agreed by customer, they are ready to accept it, then it will get deployed, and the same thing will be repeated with every single module. But remember, in this iteration, every single sprint, when you are rolling out these modules for customer to accept it or customer to utilize it, remember that these has to be first well defined and well estimated. So the question is over here now, that how we will define it and how we will estimate it. So it is quite necessary you can estimate when it is defined well. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
If there is no clarity, how will you be able to estimate that? So how to estimate, how to define it? So for define, when it is well defined and when you start working on it, so then it's quite easy during the development work. Every single day you meet each other for daily stand up, to which we call as a daily scrum meeting. For 15 minutes you meet. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what we discuss over there in daily stand up?
What happened in the last 8 hours, and then what we're gonna do in the next 8 hours, and bottleneck if we are having any obstacles.
Yeah, that's right. And for that, we have something to which we call it in rhythmic manner, that is next state, last state, and
Last date and
bottlenecking.
bottleneck.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
how you can remember that. Now, I was talking about that you can talk about these in the stand up against if it is well defined, and how it is well defined using the stories. There is a format for defining such stories. And for that, I had given you task also to write the user story. You remember that? Yes, no? Yes, no? You don't remember? I had asked you to create the user story against Fly Agile Airlines when I was giving you
Yes.
yeah. So I have not seen any kind of the user story, and this was the actually said assignment. See, here I had given you this task. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have not seen anyone has completed it. So in case you have not completed, this is quite important for you to submit, as especially when you are taking the role of business analyst. So it is quite important for you. So again, those who have missed this part, this will be repeated in the next cycle of the learning with the Agile itself. Okay. So in case you have not completed, do that. So you had learned over there how the DOR is completed. That is the definition of readiness, where you defined who all are the user, what all the activities they do, and what impact they will create. And that's the reason they follow the certain, format, that as a user, I can do this so that impact will be this. Or the same stories you defined with this understanding, as a who, I can do what, so that why will be completed. It means that when you are with clear what is the format and you place these WH question, it means you need to answer this question when you are writing these user stories. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Any questions so far? Okay, I'll take the silence as a no. But at the same time, which I didn't tell you earlier, against every user story, this part I told, against every user story, you can write the acceptance criteria. Earlier, you were writing the acceptance criteria in a very generic statement, okay, normal statement, that I'll be able to log in. I'll be able to log out. I'll be able to authorize my user, likewise, while I'm completing the first user story. But for acceptance criteria writing also, and this is again not mandatory to follow this format. Few companies, few organization nowadays under Agile, they follow this methods to write the acceptance criteria, this format to write the acceptance criteria, where they use the approach like this: given, when, then. What are the keywords they use?
Even when
Given,
then.
when,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, given, when, then. So after every such keyword, there will be some statement to be fulfilled. Okay. So after given, they need to create the context. In what context I should be referring this acceptance criteria to, and when this will be happening, there you will be mentioning the event, and then ensure the outcome. Say, for example, given. um given an agent when logs into the Fly Agile Airlines, then he should be prompted with the username. That is number one. Again, given agent when logs in, then he should be prompted for the password. Okay, or you can just write in one. Given an agent when logs into the Fly Agile Airlines, then he needs to self-authorize to log in into the system. Likewise, you will have the multiple sets of what? Acceptance criteria against every single user story. So one user story may have one acceptance criteria or multiple acceptance criteria, everyone?
Multiple.
One expect.
Multiple.
Multiple, yes. Because when you are defining that, you are checking the you are just logging in to check your miles. That is that time you can also log in. You can also check whether your username is right, your password is right. You can also check whether you are able to access your the past events or past trip. So multiple activities you can do just to check when you are checking your total miles earned. With me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now come, because now you have the understanding, now you have the clarity on this user stories. You have understood the user story, and that we have clarified in which meeting first. So we will not be going straight away. Yeah, so we are not going straight away in so many details of defining the user story in this manner, but I will give you heads up that, okay, this user story means that as a business analyst will elaborate this user story in coming days, but in the sprint planning meeting, we will brief you. This story means this story means this, right? So when you have the understanding, then you can give the estimates, right? Yes, no, you can
Yes.
give this day.
Yes.
But
Yes.
there are tons of the methods for estimation. And from those estimation techniques, we have chosen a few. All right. So the very first one is called as story sizing technique. What technique, everyone?
Story sizing technique.
Yes, and in the story sizing technique, for every user story, we give them a story point. What do we give them?
Story
Story points.
Yeah, so story point, how do we give them? We give them story point in a Fibonacci series. What kind of series?
Fibonacci series.
Yeah, Fibonacci series. So what is Fibonacci series? Who can tell me? Anyone who has heard of Fibonacci series? Yes, no? Okay.
No.
So Fibonacci series is the series of numbers, okay, that always start with number one. So how it goes? So if it is not estimation, because for estimation you can't give anything which is 0 hours or so, right? So you need to start with one. So what it happens is, when I am writing this as a part of one, say for example, okay, so first story point I have given one, okay, so the successor number is always the always addition of its two predecessors. So when I say two predecessors, it means that if one is written over here, it means that there will be one more number hidden at least. And what comes before one?
0.
0.
0. So say for example, 0 is hidden and we are not going to use this for now. Okay. So if even though if it is hidden, okay, even though if it is hidden, so I said that in Fibonacci series, the successor is the addition of two predecessors. So what should be the next number?
2.
1.
One.
Okay.
2.
And the another one is another one will be 2.
2.
2.
Yeah. What will be the another one?
3.
3. What will be the next?
5.
5.
5. What will be the next?
8.
8.
8. Okay. And so on. It will continue to so on. Now you have clarity about it?
No.
Just give me a
Yes.
second, guys. Just give me a second. I'm going on mute. Just a second. Yeah, guys, I'm back. So I was talking about Fibonacci series. You are very much clear about the Fibonacci series. So in the story sizing, now you have understood story point. In story sizing, what happens? We have multiple user story. Multiple what, everyone?
User stories.
User stories.
Yes, user story. So in the story sizing technique, what exactly happens is we should have one reference user story, okay? And that reference user story should be very much clear to each one of you. Each one of you, that user story will be very much clear that how long it may take to address that user story. Okay. So
Okay.
it could be as simple as possible. And you can give a number to that. Okay. And say, for example, if it is representing to the hour, say, for example, and you have given it as 8 hours to one user story, it generally takes. Now, what will happen? You will have the multiple user stories, right? Here
Mhm.
you will have the multiple user story in the backlog. Okay. In the backlog, you have the multiple user story, and you have pulled one user story to discuss into sprint planning meeting, and remaining will be and this user story is the reference user story. Okay, this user story is the reference user story, and that is defining its complexity. What they are defining?
Complexity of the user story.
Complexity means how complex it is, and on this user story, what all other user stories are dependent. Should I, if I refer this user story, should I keep another user story, what all are there under discussion, or we are targeting to keep them into upcoming sprint? Should we bring them just before this reference user story, or should we bring any other user story just after that? Okay. So depending upon if it is lower than this reference user story, you will be bringing them before that or after that. Okay. And based on that, you can give them number as well. Are you getting my point? So this is your
Yes.
reference, and you can give them. Say, for example, this is lower than this. Say, for example, this is twice lower than this. So you can give it a 3 when it comes to complexity. Okay. And the earlier one can go and take 5. Okay. And you decide the another user story, which is here, and that will go with the which
13.
is after this reference point, can take the 13.
13.
So this is how you are defining the story point, defining the complexity, and you decide the order as well, that how you are going to give when it comes to story pointing, when which defines the complexity of it. So is there any just stories? Yeah, Ankita has some question. Go ahead, Ankita.
Yeah. So, how do we pick the reference user story? Like, for each department, someone will have a clear idea of one user story, and someone will have a clear idea of another story. So, in
Okay,
between, how do we actually pick which user story to pick as a reference story?
right.
Yeah.
So see, that's a good question. So yeah, I understood. So yeah, so generally what happens, we first, there are some thumb rule, go with the majority. So say, for example, you have the 5 people, and
Mhm.
out of 5, these people, um, either either product owner, he himself or herself, can come up and say that, okay, this user story, as per my previous experience, it had taken 8 hours. Okay. Now you all agree, okay, this is the user story. Generally, it takes 8 hours. That's one way. Second way is that out of 5 people, 3 people agreed that this reference, this we can take as a reference user story, which had taken 8 hours or 5 hours in the past, in one of the, previous project where they had worked. So this we will go ahead with the majority. That's number 3. Number 4 is that still, if you are facing issue and you are not able to identify any reference user story, now the whole idea when you are creating the user story, it does not have to be more and more complex. You are going to make it more slickier, more thinner. And that's when we said that, and this is quite interesting example, which in this batch I partially shared, and that is when you are defining a product backlog, it is just like a bread loaf. Okay.
Okay.
And bread loaf, and it has multiple slice. Okay. And you imagine you have a kid and he is the customer, and he is waiting for this slice to be served on his plate. And in between, parents are there, grandparents are there. Say for example, if stakeholder number one is customer is your kid waiting for the every single slice to be served. Now how he has asked you or requested you, he wants the slice which is of the most tutti frutti into it. Do you understand the meaning of tutti frutti? I believe
Yeah, yeah,
yes. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So this sounds more attractive, more delicious for him. So he decide, okay, the most one will be served with him first. But what if this is the thicker one? So even if you find that 1, 2, and 3, these slices will be serving, but you find that this will be the thicker one, and it can take more time for the customer to consume or the kid to consume, what do you decide? Okay, we will break it down further. Okay. So any user story which sound like, okay, it is not a we are not able to understand, go ahead, slice it further. Okay. And then scrum master will make sure that it has gone thinned. Okay. And then you process it, you discuss it, and you assess it with other people, that how long it will take for them to cut the slice, serve the slice. If you want to add butter into it, it means that the processing is going on. Okay. And then after certain point of time, when you before serving, you are showing the customer, okay, does it look more attractive, can you start eating now? If customer means the kid gives a go, okay, okay, serve in my plate, I am ready to eat, I am very much excited, then only you are going to serve that. But before that, you will demo into another plate, hey, this is how I have decorated for you, would you love to have it? And then he says or she says yes, then you will be only served that. In a nutshell, when I am giving you the example, I just wanted to highlight over here, the whole idea is that user story has to be understood well. The slickiest, thinnest user
Mm.
story you will pick, and you will define and assess then and there. In a nutshell, say for example, login screen. So for testing, how long you will take, you are taking the effort from the testing team, and you will be asking the what coders that how long they would require to build the UI, that is the front end part of this screen. And then when they will integrate the functionality to make it functional, they will say certain hours. And you see that two coders are agreeing on one point, two testers are agreeing with their estimate, and business analysts are agreeing with their estimate. And when it is relatable to even product owner, because that user story was the most slickiest user story, you will be picking that user story as a reference point. Making more sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, still there will be a hidden unanswered stuff. Okay. The hidden unanswered stuff is that, okay, but again, it is not giving the concrete information to me. Again, it is giving me somewhere, assessment of it. Again, I'm not getting a concrete answer. Are you feeling this? Yes or no?
So
Totally agree.
Right.
So kind of. So let me
Kind of.
bring this thing. Because this is how it happens when it comes to estimate. See, and that's the reason it is called as estimate. Estimate does not have to be exact, accurate. Okay. And that's the reason we plan this estimation. Okay. Estimation does not mean we try to fit into that, but not necessarily we will get fitted. And that's the reason we always add a buffer point. Okay. Buffer hours. So we will be talking about that more in details. You got it, your answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
Anyone, someone was, you're welcome. Someone was
Yes,
saying something.
yes,
Yeah.
Gaurav Ditasha.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking, so in that story point, it's like mostly the technical team, like testers and developers, um, give that the number, no, because they had to work on that, and they has to estimate the effort. So is that's tester, maybe some one tester is giving one number, and developer, because developer also need time, and testers also need time. So
Yeah.
is that they accumulate that together, like, and get average kind of?
Yeah. So
uh,
what will happen? Another good question. Yeah. So when I'm asking for estimate, I will be asking estimation of this user story point from, say, for example, I'm in the sprint planning meeting. Okay. I won't be asking the entire details from everyone. I will be picking the responsible head. Say, for example, I have one dev lead. Okay. So if we have two, one will be the senior, one will be the junior. So if I have the dev lead, and I have the QL lead, and I have the BA lead. Okay. So I'll be asking all of them to consider this effort, and BA's effort, and come up onto that. If they are not able to do that, what I'll be asking them, okay, do this homework and go back to your team and bring their estimation, and you go back to your team, you bring your team's estimation, and then declare that. And after you guys declared the final estimation, now clubbing that to which user story, what you are giving the complexity. Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
your team's estimation should also be there. Means how much your department is willing to contribute into that particular user story. With me so far? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so all together they will take decisions like
Yes,
which
altogether the user story has to be
estimation
estimated, or
Mhm.
yeah, complexity or story point to be given.
we given. Yeah.
Because we are discussing the story point. Now it
Yes.
happened when we have the lead and we are discussing the story point and doing the story sizing technique. But when it is not use story sizing technique, we will be getting the separate assessment from every single person. Okay, department wise. Now here dev lead will not go separately in one meeting. Everyone will be sitting then and there, and as a product owner, I will be clubbing and getting the average of every single person estimation. So it means that if say for example two and six people are workers. Okay, coders are two coders, two testers, and two analysts, business analysts are there. So I'll be asking all these six people to give me the assessment, and if I'm doing the different kind of estimation technique. So in this estimation, what will happen? Everyone will be giving their estimation. Only the thing is that both the BA has to agree on the one estimation, both the QA has to agree on the one estimation, both the developers or coder has to agree on to one estimation. And as a product owner, I'll be clubbing all these three estimation, and now I will be putting into RC what this example which I am bringing for you, that has nothing to do with the story point technique. Okay, this I was giving you reference that when we will be getting into another estimation technique, this approach we will be utilizing there. With me so far? Yes?
Yeah.
No? Yeah? Making sense? So
Yes.
coming back to story point, you just define the complexity of one reference user story, and before and after that you will be putting another user story, and you are just finalizing which user story will take what story point, and accordingly you are just putting into that sprint. Okay, so other than story point, what is the different type of what you call uh, this technique? So here is the poker planning. So I was talking about the poker planning. So poker planning, you will get the various card. You see here, these are the card. Okay. So every team member will be getting one card. What product owner will do? Product owner will pick a user story and he will define the user story, and he says, okay, this is the understanding, this is the dependency, this has to be created like this. So this is how you are going to get it. The moment you understand every single person, say for example 15 people are sitting, just giving an example, or 9 people are sitting. So at the same time, when user story is understood, you will be picking every associate business analyst, senior business analyst, associate coder, senior coder, associate QA, senior QA. So all of they will be pulling one card. Every card will be again defining the further user story point as well. Okay. But that also defines the complexity. It means that defines that how many minimum effort they think that it would require. Okay. And you can think that after 8, if 8 is if 8 is defining the 8 hours, the 13 will be somewhere 1.5 day. Okay, so this is how you continue to consider it further, but it is not concrete in terms of hour. You have to define it in the terms of number to define the complexity of again user stories, and everyone will pull, but they will be talking about their estimation. Okay, then say it may happen that when it comes to user story, and there are 3 or 4 developers sitting, say for example, now 2 developers have picked 2 and another 2 has picked 5. Okay, what you should be doing, you have 2 options. Okay, you revote. Okay, you go more detail further, you discuss, and now again you ask them to pull. Say for example, this time 3 developers pulled the 5 card and 1 developer pulls the 2 cards. Okay, then again you need to go and refine it until they come on the same page. And say for example, now the majority is also there and the person repeatedly is pulling 2 and rest of 3 are pulling the 5, you will consider the majority one. Now in one scenario, everyone pulled the 4 different cards, and when you repeat this explanation, again 4 different cards are coming up, and in the third time also again the different cards are coming up. You will be taking the approach of taking the average of it and defining one as a part of its estimation. That happens in the poker planning meeting. Understood? And this is how we will be discussing every single user story one by one in this poker planning meeting. With me so far, everyone?
Yes. So Gaurav, is there any
Yes.
this one also has any I don't know how to play poker, but is there any context with the poker playing with this
No.
number
So
that are
how
plugged
how it
in?
happens? This is the real deck, the real deck, the physical deck you generally get when you
Mhm.
are into the face-to-face working. But when you are the remote working, then there are multiple softwares where you need to click on those card and then you need to show that card into the game mode, and that will be visible at the central place. So there are multiple methods to play this. Okay, and there are multiple tools to play this. Few organization uses that. Okay, few just to go ahead with the printed card and play it in a physical form. Okay, so I'll tell you the most used estimation technique before I move away from this slide. Okay,
Okay.
you understand how do we play this using any online tool, online gaming tool, or we when we say gaming tool means especially designed for this poker planning estimation technique, or we do it with the physical cards,
Yes.
and those physical card will be printed like this only. All
Mhm.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
So this was the poker planning meeting. Now comes the t-shirt sizing. Now this was I was talking yesterday. Okay, it is quite and easy and well understood. So that is defining this with the defining your user stories with the sizes. It can be the extra small, small, medium, large, XL. The XL can be so medium can be your somewhere indicative towards the 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and 8 hours, and 24 hours. So this is how when we say 24 hours, it can be 3 days or something, and this is how it will continue to go lesser and lesser and lesser. Okay, so that happens in the story point. Any question into the t-shirt sizing?
Now, what is the minimum hours like here? It's a 4 hours, like excess, like or
No, extra small, you can say 1 or 2 hours. So
okay.
1 or 2 hours, but yet not fix that it has to be minimum 1 hour. Okay. So we range it from 1 to 2. All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Just allow me. I'm just sipping a glass of water. Yeah. So this was the one. Now coming back to this estimation technique, there is another estimation technique to which we call it as a voting. What we call it as?
Dot
voting.
Dot voting. Imagine a Kanban board which have the various user stories in the sticky notes. Okay. And the Kanban board can be the, physical board as well, and every user story is representing one sticky note, and when it is asked that you need to give the estimation to that, so you decide how many dot it should take. One may present to one dot, 1 to 2 hours. The three may represent to 3 to 4 hours. The five will be representing to 5 to 6 hours, and likewise you keep on giving the votes. You will be able to add the dots into that. So this system is called as dot voting. Okay, this is as simple as that. Any questions so far, guys, in the dot voting?
No.
No.
Okay, now the most interesting, which in my career I have seen that most used one is this technique, the last one. Okay, it is called as, somewhere it is pronounced as Delphi, somewhere Delphi, and so this come. So what happens in Delphi techniques? Can someone tell me? What do you think? How do you give the estimation into Delphi technique? And this is the most popular, most used by everyone. And somewhere we are taking the help of this Delphi technique in every single estimation technique. What is that? Who can guess that? And you don't have to be right always. I would really love that if I get even the wrong answer. Who can give me the answer, please?
Maybe dice kind of thing.
Yeah, could you please be louder? I could not hear.
No. What I'm saying is like putting the dice kind of like dominoes.
Okay, dominoes. Okay. I mean, really, I'm not getting this somehow.
No.
Yes,
What I'm saying is like the dice. Yeah. Huh?
So Gaurav,
Okay.
is that XP like it's EXP based, means experience based, like who have already suppose worked like on the similar kind of user stories, and they're giving their inputs, and then from there like kind of
Okay, so you are reading this Delphi and then EXP based. So when we say EXP based means what so other than Titus, what you guys are guessing this EXP uh, will be abbreviating to?
Experience.
Yes, you are right. So yeah, Titas said was right. So it is experience based. Okay. So this is the most used one. Means you take one reference of user story. Okay, in the past I have worked in this user story. Generally, assessing self-assessment is done, and they say that, okay, I believe as per my past experience that it will require 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. So whatever the estimation technique, when you are giving you based on your experience. It may happen that everyone may come back with the different number. Okay, and here you are giving the hours. So when you are giving back, so then you need to give the clarity. Say for example, there are 5 people, and first person is giving the say for example 32 hours, and the last person is giving 1 hour. So these are two different extreme, and in between everyone is giving 16 hours, say for example, their estimation. Okay, you will be checking with the first person and the last person why they think that that many hours are required. Okay, and then you will normalize that. Okay, but this is always counted on the experience base. Okay,
Right.
any question on this in the Delphi technique?
Why
No.
it is called Delphi?
Yeah, go ahead.
So why it is called Delphi? That is actually my um like it's
Okay,
confusing because it's when it's experience based. So what do you mean by Delphi? So I'm just
okay. So see, the always you remember that when such names are coming, then it means that there should be a pioneer
right.
behind that.
Mhm.
Okay, so when we say Delphi, Delphi was the name. Okay, first
Mhm.
who pioneered this.
Right. Mhm.
Okay, so that's the reason. That's the reason this was popularized under the name of the Delphi technique. So
Mhm.
there is a history behind it. Okay, so if you want to go ahead into Delphi method, so this is more towards the forecasting it and structure in the group. So yeah, so there is a, of course, means um, the name of this person I completely don't remember, but yeah, as
Maybe
I
he invented and it's popular.
yeah. So this person was earlier in Oracle or somewhere. So from there it came up. So yeah, I completely don't remember the name of this person, but yeah, ended with Delphi, and that's the reason he observed that many of times when people are giving the estimation, they are using this technique, and he then vocalized into the market. Okay, let's use this because this is more popular, and because he continued to being vocal about it, it became the Delphi, and under Delphi it is the experience based. Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Awesome. So there are multiple such techniques. So we are just so any question related to estimation. There is one what do you call, when I was speaking about story sizing and story point, one very important terms come up over here, and that is about the velocity and capacity. So remind me tomorrow in case you don't find that video, that is 20 minutes long video which I had spoken and detail it down, what is velocity, what is capacity, that I'll be submitting into the group itself. Okay, so that you can watch it something extra, and you can have the understanding that what exactly velocity means, capacity means. So in a nutshell, you need to understand when you define any velocity or capacity, it means how many team members are there, how many time they can contribute. So these help you to estimate further as well. Okay, so I'll be posting that. All right, any question related to estimation, guys? If no, now this is time to transition into what?
Business analyst.
Business analyst.
Yes.
Yes. So we need to understand more about business analysts. And for that, I'm going to reshare my screen. So, but before we dive into that, any question related to Agile and Scrum? You think that you wanted to ask and you did not ask, and you thought that, okay, Gaurav said that will be answered in the future, and still that has not been answered. So with this note, okay, so I'll take this silence as a no. Can I take this as a no question, and can continue further? Yeah.
Yes.
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 Thank you for your yeses. So let's understand
Yes.
all about business analysis, that what is the history. So what in this deck we will be understanding in these slides in coming few minutes, um, why business analysts were required, when there was the need of this arose, this role, and how they operate, who support them, and like Scrum, we had a Scrum body of knowledge to which I was referring to yesterday. There is a community, there are the practices of the Scrum consultants, or into the organization, bigger organization, community of the, Scrum consultants. So likewise, do we also have the business analyst consultant or business analyst community somewhere? So how it all evolved, we will be looking at it. Who can become the business analyst? What is the minimum criteria to become business analyst? It is the most hyped rated role, or it is anyone can get into this. So see, if you'll go into the market, guys, what you will identify, business analyst role is the most complicated role. It has been demoed as. This role has been so much created, so much of complexity in the market that people think, okay, so for that you need to be the highest educated person in this world, and then only you can go ahead and okay, I had to go on mute. So yeah, so most highest overhyped role, this I would say, but in my understanding and the way I have trained many people, and I have seen that what exactly it needs, you need to understand bare minimum thing that will be looking as a last day of business analyst, that you need to know when you become the business analyst. You need to know the functionality, or in two words, if I say, the life cycle of the domain. Okay. So the two words are the life cycle you should be focusing on if you want to be the business analyst in any domain. So what are these two words? What I said just now?
Domain.
Life cycle.
Life cycle.
Life cycle.
Cycle.
So whenever a job description is there and it is demanding you, okay, we are looking for some business analyst who will have the mm, who will have experience into cargo industry, or the say for aviation industry, or say for example insurance, banking, healthcare. Even if you are going for the interview, make sure you are thorough with the life cycle of that industry. Okay. And when you know the life cycle, it's quite easy for you to break down the functionality in the every life cycle. And we will be more or less bringing some domains for you, so that it will be quite easy for you to proceed further. So understand the history of the business analyst for that. And for that, I want uh, two different people to read these two bullet points for me. Go ahead.
IIBA.
IIBA was founded in Toronto, Canada in October 2003 to support the business analysis community.
The Body of Knowledge Committee was formed in October of 2004 to define and draft a global standard for the practice of business analysis. In January of 2005, IIBA released version 1.0 of a Guide to the Business Analysis Body of Knowledge for feedback and comment.
Yeah. Thank you so much for reading this out. So you need to understand now that, so can someone tell me, what do we mean by, what is the full form of IIBA? Who knows that?
Indian Institute of Business Analysis.
Okay. So
International Institute of Business
International.
Analyst.
yes, you are right. International Institute of Business Analysts. Okay. So it was earlier you found that um, it has to be what? It has to be okay, just give me a second. I want to bring something for you. Okay. And yeah. one thing you will find, okay, forget that. So I'll have to spend a lot of time to search for that. So I'll forget that. So understand, in 2003 October, in Canada, Toronto, there was certain group of people, they came together and they founded IIBA, and they defined that in this community where the people were working in the different IT companies, they came together in 2003 and they decided that let's help these consultant, and we define certain value system. Those are defined into the BA box. But from October 2003 to October 2004, they were just changing every single time values and principle. But in October 2004, they decided, let's draft one guideline for our business analyst community, and this work continued to end until December 2004. And in 2005 January, they published a guideline which was known as this BA BOK. What it is known as?
BA Bach.
Yeah, BA BOK guide. And the full form of BA BOK is Business Analysis Body of Knowledge. They talk about the entire value system. And the current version right now of this is BA BOK 3.0. So it evolved from 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0. Right now, only these things are, only BA BOK 3.0 is working as a part of reference. Every business analyst are referring to that. You can just search the internet and you can download one BA box for you if you want to at all want to refer to that guide. Okay, so this is called as BA box, created by IIBA, that is International Institute of Business Analysts. Okay. Now, this IIBA run various certification program. Okay. And if you want to enroll into that, because IIBA is the global standard community, and if you do certain certification from them, it is understood that, okay, you are actual having the right credential. And in fact, it's okay even if you do the certification. Okay, there are also many people who have not IIBA certified, but still they are business analysts. Now, here you need to understand two things. One, when you are becoming the business analyst, you follow certain business analyst rule, values, and principle. And at the same time, if you are just starting into the market and you have the domain knowledge, you become the domain expert. You can, the domain expert can become the business analyst. It means that business analyst in a nutshell has to be the SMEs. When we say SME, it means subject matter expert. He has to know in and out of the functionality of some work. Say, for example, if you are becoming, um, banking business analyst, a business analyst expert in banking domain. It means what I would expect from you. You should be knowing how this fund transfer carries. You should be knowing what happens in the background. I mean, on the knowledge level, you are knowing how, when check clearance is happening, what exactly check has to go first. When I'm transferring a fund, is it directly going to the physical fund into another bank, or what exactly happens in the background? When I am when you are the insurance domain expert, business analyst or SME, I would be expecting from you, you have to end-to-end knowledge of the insurance system, how insurance is bought, on how the criteria is decided, how the customers are picked, whether they have to be given this insurance or not, and how the premium is calculated. For someone it may calculated differently, for someone it may calculated separately. On what ground this separate premium comes up, if someone has to claim, what is the claim process and all. So these all things is expected from business analyst. So does it mean only the business, only the insurance or banking type of domain are there? No, there are few such domains which are not really highlighted. Say, for example, utility domain. What comes under utility domain? Who can tell me? What comes under
The
utility
trash,
domain?
like waste management.
Gas,
Okay,
electricity, water.
gas, electricity, phone, these all comes under the utility. Power, So yes, so you are well acquainted with that. Okay, so in some country, when it comes to electricity, so you have to have the recharge option. Okay, so when it is going down, you do generally recharge. Sometimes pharmacy. Okay, so in pharmacy also, how uh, s- uh, what is the life cycle of a new product in the pharmacy. It can be the oral pills, it can be the injections, it can be a specific diabetic shoes. Product could be anything. Okay, so how it comes into the market, how it gets sold out, how it is marketed, so these are the some life cycle. Okay, so that even you are aware of, so you need to have the understanding of the functionality in certain domain, and you are good with that. But why I was telling you that, only reason behind that is that you don't have to just become the IIBA certified. It is not necessary. Sometimes some people become the domain experts, and for that they go into the domain certification as well. Okay, so in the insurance sector there are multiple certification. They do the certification for that. If they start loving to contribute into the insurance industry as a business analyst, and they have worked for longer periods, say for example, I knew few business analyst, my friend, so who did certain certification into the banking industry. Okay, and they are still working with the banking product company. And I know few people, they did certification in the banking, and they are running their own business. They did not need those certification. A few I know that they are still in insurance industry for more than 20 years, and they chose that they will continue to work into the IT insurance, and they did the certification into further insurance industry to understand more insurance in detail. So are you getting my point? How people choose to do certification,
Yes,
domain wise, as well as IIBA certified, and not necessarily always you have to do the certification, because in the market you will still find there are many BAs working who are not IABA certified, who have just they got selected through campus as a fresher. They started working as a business analyst. They gained a good amount of experience. They are just business analysts. In long term, they can choose to do certain certification, but there are many who had the experience as a business analyst, and they don't need even certification because they have the knowledge. Okay, so certification is not mandatory, but how to acquire certification, that I gave you the example in a nutshell when I was explaining this history of business analyst to you.
so Gaurav,
With
can I can I request you one thing? Like, if you know any any banking certification, what you're talking about, can you share that? Like, because as we don't have any experience and we have not worked anywhere, like any domain knowledge, so if we can do, even I
yeah,
think IIBA we have to CBAP, we need a 5 to
yeah.
6 experience, then we can do that. So it's not
Yeah, so
possible.
if you need a certain certain what you call experience to show, so guru schools for their candidate, what they do, they already tell you that okay, you quote these projects that you are contributing for us, because this is under guru schools, we are legit for you to give these project to mention, and based on such mention, if you want to earn certain certification, you can go ahead and do that. And guru schools is always there to support you, number one. Number two is that when you say that okay, tell me the banking certification, so there are so many banking certification. The question is that do you really want to get into the banking sector? What if immediately you don't get any um what you call any banking placement or banking job? So how will you deal with that? Okay, so I know few people who did this certification into banking. Oh, okay, and they were contributing as a BA. They had been laid off. Okay, and then they had to go to into some another market. Okay, then banking certification was just became a knowledge sake. But yeah, I don't say it does mean that you don't do that. You can choose to still do that. Okay, but it's all up to you. But that does not define that if you have done these certification, then only you can contribute into the uh, IT of the banking. With me so far?
Yeah, that I understand, but I'm just asking because of uh, like even Guru School is giving like experience. So if we have some knowledge, like uh, that just be when we'll work, or if
Yeah.
we
So I would say that like Udemy, Uderica, these are the online courses. There you will find the various banking courses. You can go ahead that and do that. There are certain certification courses in the banking will be like related to investment banking, risk management, accounting, financial banking, money laundering, money handling, credit analysis. So there are tons of such certifications are there. Okay, so you can choose anything related to capital market. um so it's all up to you. I mean, what
understand.
kind.
So, okay, okay, I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. So you choose that means risk assessment or financial planning or something like that. I mean, there are
Mhm.
always tons of such certifications,
Mhm.
and people are sitting there to give you certification. Okay, so you can choose one and can go ahead with that. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
yeah, what fascinates me most is about the related to risk assessment and money in the banking sector. So yeah, so I
Okay.
if given now a chance to do certain certification in the banking, I would do that. But again, for the getting in depth of that, if I'll give you my example, 7 years I contributed, not 7 years, yeah, 6.5 years. I contributed into the banking product company. After banking product company, I got into the service industry. In this service industry, I was like, I was handling the different sectors, like it was pharmacy, it was healthcare, it was utility, it was insurance. I mean, the mix of everything was there. And then again for 5 years I had to contribute further into the insurance sector. Then I went ahead and I had to handle into the security. When I say security, online security and all. So then I mean, there are different types of sector. Say for example, in US, right now there are the various sector that some organization who works to welfare of the rape victims, and some are go ahead and work for the some organization are working for the juveniles who go for addiction or something like that. So there are the various victims. So these sectors, till my initial years of my um, career, I was not even aware of. Okay, and later the banking left, uh, this insurance left, and I was left up with this such kind of a work where I was working with the very closely to US government, where they are having such kind of welfare organization who are working for US citizens goodwill or something like that. They want to work for those victims and all, and they want to reform them, and they want to come out. So a few are just running the wellness program, so wellness program for the prisoners. So these are the various kind of domains are there, which is hidden, but they gradually opens up as per the requirement. I hope you are getting my point, that what is the wide variety. So if you will go ahead with that, gain the knowledge, I would say. But I won't recommend you to do the certification or not, or don't do the certification. That will be your choice. Okay,
Mhm.
ultimately, because this is the horizon, and this is the growth path. You never know at the 20th years of contribution in IT where you will be at that time. So right now, I'm not working in banking, nor in healthcare, not in insurance. I'm working very closely with the US government. Okay, so in these welfare for welfare community, I'm working with. So there, I'm contributing something different. So here, I have already contributed around 5 years. 4 or 5 years. So you never know in future where you will be landing up. So that's the reason these are the input for you to start thinking very, uh, take the measurement well, and then take the decision of the certification and all. Yeah, especially for IABA. I would recommend easily if you can do that CBAP and all, CCBS, something like that. Go ahead, do that, and yeah, continue your work. That okay, you are IABA certified. If you are interested at all and you are fascinated by certification, then all right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I went more in detail. So thank you so much for asking this question. So considering this, let's understand first, because we have understood, let's understand this, what is business analysis as per 3.0. I want someone to read this.
Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. Yes, so in a nutshell, business analysis body of language, body of knowledge, that says that you should focus on one thing which is always constant, that you have heard of and you read it over here as well, and that is you need to focus every single time to bring that for your customer. And what is that?
Change.
Change.
Change is always good for you as a business analyst, and business analysts are always good for the company's growth, because it is you who is closely focusing on this term change, and this is what you will be suggesting, this is what you will be bringing, and this is what you will be recommending to whom? To whom you will be recommending, you will be suggesting?
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders, it means to the customers. Okay, customer may have certain solution they would be seeking from you, and they would come, hey, can you develop this small software for me? And yes, you understand their problem, but they need some solution at the surface level. Okay, but you can dig deeper, ask multiple question, and you can recommend them. Okay, you don't just need this solution, you need solution P, Q, R, S, T. Why did you miss so many of um solutions? You just came up with that I needed uh, H, X, Y, Z. These four solution. No, between H to X, there are another solution that you need to have. Okay, not all are the mandatory one, but yeah, there are few elements which are mandatory. Why you want to miss them? Because if you'll miss it now, that may cost you later. That may cost some customers. Okay, do you want to still? So you need to agitate the problem. Agitate what?
The problem.
Problem of the customer, so that they can understand the need of those solution, and then it is quite easy for you to help them to accept the incorporation of those as a new change. And sometime you just don't bring the fresh requirement from the customer, also sometime you bring the request of the change from the customer, or upgradation from the customer, or update from the customer. So this is the basic role when it comes to analyzing the business. If you analyze that, then only you can suggest the change. So you need to be very much alert, understand customer. When customer feels understood, then only he can give you some work to start work upon. Okay, are you getting this?
Yes.
There's more
Yes.
towards the customer centricity. So business analyst has to be always on their toes to understand their customer and their problem and their concerns. So with this note, I think it's okay to take a pause over here. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take a pause, and we'll continue about this business analyst in the next session as well. Okay. So from here we are just we transition today towards the business analyst. Again, I want to understand anyone here for the first time. Was your day one. You heard me live for the first time. Yes, no. Okay, I think no one is there. Now it's time for quick attendance. You know how do we take the attendance? Just type into your name into the WhatsApp group, mention your name, and then after that, write 1 or 2 words. What do you feel like saying after today's session? Are you feeling that you are understanding the things? Are you feeling that things are making sense to you? Are you feeling you are able to connect, relate, understand? Whatever you feel like saying, just don't tell that you have learned this. No, I want to understand how it is processing in your mind, what you are feeling exactly. Are you feeling a little bit of confidence? Yes, I can do that. It is sounding really easy if I continue to practice it. Because this is simple. We talked about change, how we are just formalizing it in a very simple manner. So this is what I am expecting from you. Go ahead, and I'll be reviewing everyone's attendance and marking it separately at my end. So thank you so much, everyone, for showing up, and we'll talk to you again in the next week. Please complete your pending assignments like writing user stories and whatever unsaid assignments are there, said assignments are there. Please complete them so that it will be adding the points to your progress only. Okay. And for that, you have this NDC consent letter given by you that you will be getting involved into assignment and all. Everything is there. So in case you have not signed in the consent letter for a week, it is considered by default that you have accepted that. Okay. So we will be expecting more of the involvement from you, not just learning going back. All right. So go ahead, give your attendance, and we'll talk to you again on next Sunday. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night. Good night. Thank you.